Hello, thanks for having us. I'm Margot, product owner at Karos, and I'm glad to discuss with you our accessibility project. Today, we will address the following topic, how to make daily carpooling accessible to a person with reduced mobility. So first, Karos is a mobile carpooling platform which enables passengers and drivers to find a match to share their car rides. Our members use our application to save on their transportation costs, to make their commute nicer, and to reduce their carbon footprint. Now, after 6 years of activity, we count over 400,000 users in France. We started to develop in Europe with Denmark this year, and we are making carpooling a mainstream mode of transport. We are confident on the ecological impact of our service. And now we take time to see that our application is still not suited for everyone, and for example, person with disabilities. So working on that become a new goal for Karos. And as it was said previously in this meetup, accessibility is a responsibility with 5.8% of the working population concerned. And it's also a growing demand from our customers, which are companies and public authorities. And finally, our users are also expecting from us an accessibility journey. You can see here some example, some messages we received at our user support. If we read the first one together, I have a disability and a walking distance of 100 meters. The proposals are always too far from my starting point or my ending point. And the other example are express the same things, that we have registers in the app with disabilities, and they would like to carpool, but they really need to find carpoolers which pick them up and drop them off as close as possible of their home, and ideally not require them to walk at all. So all these sources, society, customers, and users are making accessibility a great motivation for the team. The subject of accessibility, a great motivation. And about the team, we just ran an hackathon recently to collectively think about how to make our app more accessible and more inclusive. And one of the projects we chose unanimously was the one of the accessibility for persons with reduced mobility. So to allow those persons to carpool easily, we have to solve two issues. The first one, of course, is how to collect the information that a user has a disability. And our choice is to make it declarative and let people to declare when registering on the app. And the second point is how to use that information when calculating opportunities. This is what we call the matching. And I leave the floor to Paul, our software engineer, to explain you how it could work.
Thank you, Margot. As shown in the animation, matching users means finding an acceptable route along which a driver and a passenger can meet and split. This incurs a detour for the driver and a walk for the passenger. To find such a route, we first compute the area where the users can go to. The passenger by walking around his origin and destination points, and the driver by making a detour along his original path. We call those move zones, and we check whether their intersection provides a match. The colors of the squares represent the combined efforts that the users consent to get there. For reduced mobility passengers, we limit their move zones to the smallest possible. For them, we also disabled public transports, and we increased their flexibility on departure time to compensate for the driver making a longer detour. Next, we reconstruct the full path for each user by finding optimal pickup and drop-off points. Zooming on the lower part of the picture shows the driver finishing his journey after, shows each user finishing their journey after drop-off. In the reduced mobility case, it is much easier as we don't need to find optimal points anymore. We simply add 2 stopovers to the driver's original path. The zoom shows the driver finishing his journey after dropping the passenger off at his respective destination. Here are a few metrics to study the impact of such a change. So the first graph shows that in the reduced mobility case, the average passenger walking time is greatly reduced as the passenger meets the driver right outside his home and is dropped off at his destination. This leads to the second graph, which shows that the average driver detour time is only increased by 1.6 minutes. This shows that including reduced mobility passengers still yields relevant carpooling opportunities. Back to you, Margot.
Thank you. To conclude, we would like to say that Karos is a player in shared mobility, but this term will take its full meaning for us when our service will be suitable for everyone, including people with disabilities. And committing to more accessibility is a win-win situation. As collaborators, we are proud having contributed to the project. Developments presented to you are important and expected from our customers and our users. And finally, having more carpoolers in the application is a virtuous cycle to boost the usage, which is still our first ambition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.